Okay, so this is a traditional style plot map, and you've seen it before, so this is kind of review. And this is what you need to do with a partner or partners, so no more than a group of 3, and you need to do this for level 3 in Quest 1. If you read those instructions at the top of Quest 1, level 3, this is one of the requirements, and I'll show you that right now. So here's what you're going to do. The first thing that you're going to do is make a list of all the plot events. And in a story like African Story, there's probably about 20 of them, if not more. There are a lot of events in this story, and it's a long story. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to list all the events. And once we've done that, what we can do then is pick out the event, the one event that is the climax of the story, because that's where we're going to start making our map, with the climax. So we pick an event that we think is the climax of the story, and that's the part of the story where the conflict becomes the most complicated, just before it becomes less complicated. And you can see that on the graph. So on the graph, what we have, this is called the exposition. This is where we find out the setting and the characters, and we might even find out what the conflict is going to be. So this flat line here is like the setup for the story. Then the next thing we have is called the rising action. This is where the conflict becomes more and more and more complex. This is usually the part of the story that we think of as the story itself. It's the most interesting part of the story. The peak, of course, is the climax of the story, and then we have what we call the denouement in French, or the falling action, where it's the part of the story that the climax has already happened, but things are becoming less complicated, but there's still still a little more story to tell. And then down here, finally, we have the solution or the resolution at the end, and this is how the story ends up. So what you're going to do is you're going to make this plot list, and you're going to figure out what item or what plot event you think is the climax of the story. And that event goes right there. And what I would do is I would simply number these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way down. And then what I would do is I would put 1, 2, 3, and make a correlating graph between events on here and events on your list. When you're done, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that both your partner's names are on your paper. You're going to take a picture of it, either with your phone or with the computer, and you're going to upload it to Schoology in the right spot. Make sure you put both partners' names or team member names in the assignment so I can tell whose is whose. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, come up and see me.